Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, adjusting my camera. Welcome to day 314 of our Be a Better You annual challenge. Day 10 of our No Nonsense November. Every day this month we're covering a topic, and this week is focusing on momentum, things that help us move the needle, move and make progress toward what it is that we want in our business and in our life, in our career, in our relationships, in every area and aspect of our life. We are also going through the ideas process with a challenge or an area that you have selected that you want to improve between now and the end of this year. And I picked my workspaces, and I did it last month too, and I'm continuing to work on it, but it's a really important area for me, so I wanted to emphasize it by doing it again in November and really going through the process again and making sure that I've got it set up in the way that will support and work for me. So let's talk about that first. Step 3 of the ideas process is to explore options. So what we usually do is we brainstorm at least 10 possible ways to fill the gap between where we are and where we want to be. Remember, yesterday we talked about a desired outcome. That's where we want to be. Day before that, we talked about, well, what is our current situation? That ends up being what we don't want. Because if it didn't pop into our mind, it wouldn't be a challenge or a problem or an area that we want to improve. So that's where we are. Here's where we want to be. And this gap is what we use the rest of the steps of the process to fill. And if we do the steps every day, at the end of 7 days, we have started to fill that gap, and we've got the next step in mind in terms of how we're going to continue to fill that till we get to exactly where we want to be. All right, so that is the ideas process and the ideas part of this. I also am going to share, I'm going to remember, I've got it right in front of me, and on my lap it's going right now, is the everyday wisdom and the card. Let's do that right now too. We're going to get into our No Nonsense November last today. This says, I need a magnifying glass. Always need a magnifying glass. Oh, I hid it. There we go. See a little peek at it. I can replace false premises with law-based premises. What does that mean? I can replace my limiting and false beliefs that I've adopted throughout the course of my lifetime with universal law-based premises. And I'm going to read this one today because I think it's a good one. It says, there has been a theme unfolding here of replacing flawed premises with law-based premises, as we would like to leave you with a final one. We all make too much of all of this, meaning our lives, our relationships, our businesses, everything. It's simpler than we all make it out to be. Be easy about it. Be kind to yourself. Do things that feel fun. Look for things that bring you relief, and just easily move into the place, your vortex or whatever you call it, your desires, where all things that you want have already been lined up for you. So everything we really want every desire we've ever had is lined up in what they call the vortex. I'm not going to get into this. It's a huge topic. Esther and Jerry Hicks talk about it a lot with the teachings of Abraham, and so do other spiritual leaders and different modalities than I use. And if we truly believe that, it takes away all the stress and struggle and hustle and bustle, and part of what we're talking about today. So I like this one. And then in Wayne Dyer's, I picked, remember that every single thing you've gone through has helped lead you to where you are today. That's not the one I had picked, but I stuck my thing in the page, so that is today's. I thought I had folded the page over. I did. I just read no, I didn't. I don't know. Okay, it doesn't matter. So what is our topic today for No Nonsense November? It is habits trump hustle. Now, I have a lot of experience in this. I think I hustled, and I didn't hustle, but I hurried and sprinted and ran through all of my 30s and all of my 40s. And at 50, I had a sudden cardiac arrest and dropped dead. Obviously, it didn't stick because I'm here talking to you today, but it was a huge, huge, huge transformation and immediate transformation of my life, who I was, how I showed up, and there had been things leading up to that. I just was totally blissfully unaware of them, and not so blissfully unaware of them. It was a really hard time in my life, but I am the epitome of a changed human being since that particular event. So what does this mean? What does habits over hustle, habits trump hustle? I like that because I think it means habits, the things that we create intentionally. Now, let's clarify habits here, right? Good, positive, right for us habits trump hustle. Because if we've got bad habits, we got to get rid of them. And you know if a habit is bad for you or not. You might not be consciously cognizant of it, but if you go out drinking every night or if you drink a six-pack every night, that's probably not a great habit for you or me or anybody else on the planet, right? Alcoholism, not a good habit. Drugs, same thing. So my take on habits is bad habits are really easy to form and hard to quit. Good habits are harder to form. They take a little bit more commitment on our part, but easy to quit. So if you start a habit of posting daily content and you do it for let's say you do it for 4 months, pretty much by that time it's ingrained in you and you're going to do it every day because you've figured out that it's rewarding and you like doing it. And if you miss a day, you'll just pick it up again. But that will only happen so often with good habits. At least that's been my experience. Bad habits, on the other hand, are things that hook into us. It's like social media to me. Social media posting and negativity is a bad habit. I know, just like alcohol, I stay away from it because I don't want to go down that road. So how do we look at our habits? And I'm going to ask you to take a cold, hard look at your habits today and write them all down. Write down the habits that you notice as you notice them throughout the day and put a little plus or minus beside them. Does that lead your life in the direction you want it to go, or does it not? If it doesn't, it's a negative. If it does, it's a positive. I got lots of good habits now because I realized that if I was going to not have bad habits, I needed to fill my life with positive habits, and I challenge you to do the same. Hustle sucks the life out of us. Or at least it literally sucked the life out of me. It takes energy, and it's got a lot of negative energy generally attached to it. Now, if we're doing positive things that feel like they're in the flow for us and they feel like they're moving us in the direction we want to go, there are periods of our life where we need to hustle a little more, right? I hustled through my 30s and 40s because I was raising my kids. And I don't know about you, but parenting takes a lot of energy and a lot of hustle and bustle and resetting of priorities and things. But after that, I learned really quickly, like in a 7 to 10 day period of being in a coma, that wasn't working for me any longer. Yeah, it got my kids raised and it's helped me to make it through some other situations that were less than ideal, we'll say. But it wasn't the way that I needed to be living if I wanted to continue to be here and move forward. What we do daily defines what we become and who we become. I totally believe this. A long time ago, probably in high school or college, developed and adopted a belief that continuous improvement and lifelong learning is critical to me. It isn't to everybody. I mean, if you look around you, you'll see people that absolutely positively have not changed since high school. Now, high school was a long time ago for me. So that's a very eye-opening. And you'll see people that have just massively transformed their life time and time again and created absolutely incredible things, right? I think Elon Musk, wow. I think Steve Jobs, wow. These people did things and are doing things that totally transform them and their lives, but actually the world. Systems free us and free our mind, just like habits do, from having to focus on things that aren't that important and we can automate versus things that really matter to us. So we want to create habits that make the things that we want to be automatic in our life just get done automatically, so we can free our time and energy so we can focus on the things that we want to be creating in the world, right? So think about, well, how might this show up in your life? Well, maybe you start drinking a big cup of water before you have your coffee first thing in the morning. And all of a sudden you realize that your energy is improving, your focus is better, and you're getting more done. All because instead of waiting to have that first cup of coffee a day, as soon as you woke up, you had a glass of water. I don't remember who I learned that from, but it's extremely powerful because all night long we haven't had anything to drink, right? So for 4 to 6 to 8 hours, how much ever you sleep, 12 hours, you haven't hydrated your body, and our bodies and all our cells need hydration. So why would we not have a glass of water first thing in the morning? So what's our action item today? I want you to pick one small habit, a good habit, and I want you to start it today, one that aligns with your next level, what you want to achieve, do, be, and have next, in maybe in a relationship, in your finances, in whatever area you want to pick, and share in the comments below what that habit is, and then commit that for between now and the end of November, you're going to take that step, that small habit action every single day between now and the end of November. That's not hard, guys. That's 20 days. 20 days to do one small habit. And then we're going to check in on the last day of the month. We're going to say, are you still doing it? I would recommend that you pop on and every day say, you know, done, or I did my, or habit. You could just put habit, and or new habit, or positive habit, and whatever feels right for you in the comments below the daily No Nonsense November challenge, to hold yourself accountable for actually doing it and letting other people cheer you on, right? All right, that is it for today. If I can help you in any way with this, hit me up and ask. Otherwise, have an awesome day, and I'll of course be with you tomorrow.